welcome back. Today I'm super excited because I am doing a video that I kind of came up with on my own. I'm sure there's been like videos kind of done out there, more in like the generic form of it, all about getting ready using like tips that beauty influencers share. Well, today's video is kind of similar to that. So I watch a lot of beauty YouTubers. I'm sure if you were watching this video and you watch my channel, you probably watch some beauty influencers as well. I thought it'd be fun to put together a list of tips and techniques that certain beauty YouTubers constantly promote on their channel, or not even promote, but are constantly doing on their channel that are different from other people. And yeah, some of these, a few people do. Like, it's not like it's just they just do it, but like when I think of this person, this is the technique that I think of them doing a lot. And obviously I'm mixing a bunch of things together. Like I know like I have like some beauty YouTubers that use like light foundations, natural finish, like that. And then there's some that are super full coverage. And so I'm mixing some of their techniques together. So it's not going to be like just full face, just natural, but it is going to be kind of like an overall collection of stuff. And so I thought it was super fun. I came up with this idea last weekend, and then last night I was laying in bed and I was like typing up YouTubers and like techniques and like the kind of a lot of the main ones that I watch. And so I have a list right here. Not all of it is like a full face, and there's not really any specific products that like they mentioned. So I just picked out products from my collection that I wanted to use for this video. But these are specific techniques. I'm going to go in the order like of my face and stuff. If I don't have a product, I won't show it on camera probably, because I want this video to be focused on the techniques, and I also don't want this video to be 35 minutes long because I have a feeling I'm going to be filming for probably 45 minutes with this. So I think we should just hop right in and get started. The first technique that I have listed is from Casey Holmes, and it is using a primer spray. Casey always uses those two primers, the one mattifying, which if I actually really thought hard enough, I probably could tell you what the name of it is, but I can't think right now. But she always uses a primer for like mattifying and setting her face because she has oily skin. I don't have oily skin, so I'm not going to use a mattifying. I just use my e.l.f. Moisture Lock. And then I just moisturize with the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Balm. I already used moisturizer today, the Drunk Elephant, the Proteiny one that I really like, but I just moisturize with this, and then I put on the Moisture Lock primer because this one is not necessarily moisturizing in the sense of like a jelly, like hydrating feel. It's more of a, like, I'm gonna moisturize, but I'm gonna grip onto your foundation feel. So I feel like oily skin would like this too. So I already did that, but she's all about using a primer spray. She uses the Smashbox primer water. I have had that in the past. I used it up. I had a little sample one. Did I think it was life-changing? No, I really don't think it did a whole lot, but I think it's more the fact of she's getting moisture on her skin a little bit, even if she has oily skin. I'm just going to use the Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. I love this stuff. I've repurchased it many times. I think it's just a great facial mist, whether you're using it for makeup or just skincare. And if you stick this in the fridge, it'll be cooling too. Kind of tastes good. Why have I never tasted it before? It's kind of got that spray where it feels like it's like hitting my whole face. I mean, it's not like the nicest spray if you're putting makeup on, but whatever. I really want to test out this next technique that I'm going to mention. I mean, I've done this technique before because I found it through this person, but I think with a full coverage foundation, it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. I am going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. So the technique is Allie Glines, and she says to apply your foundation with a brush first to get the coverage, and then use a sponge to press in and get the, like a beauty blender, beauty sponge type effect, but you're also getting the coverage, because if you use a sponge, a lot of times it takes away from the coverage. So if you apply one thinner layer with a brush and then another thinner layer with a sponge, it's gonna give you the beauty blender or the sponge like natural finish effect, but it's also going to give you, you're also going to have coverage, which is genius. And I have used this tip before with other foundations, especially natural finish foundations is when she really talks about it. And then I also want to take Kelly Gooch's tip, which is using less foundation on the under eyes and the forehead. A lot of people overboard the forehead. I have a little bit of like acne right here, but you don't really need to cake it. I need more like coverage here and here. I am breaking out. It's that time of the month. I can't control it. But other than that, I'm actually pretty good with breakouts. I'm not too, it's just kind of that time of the month, and then other than that, it's whatever. So yes, focusing less on the under eyes. I always put concealer or foundation like up to my under eyes and like over. I don't know why, I just always do that. So I'm gonna try and focus on not doing that today. But I'm just going to take this and, is this, yeah, and dot, like a couple dots on my cheek. I don't want to go overboard with this because this foundation is a little bit drying, and it's a good mattifying foundation. I know Andrea Lee loves this, but she has like oily, she used to have more oily skin, now I think it's less oily. But oily skin people love this foundation. Dry skin people, I mean, it is really full coverage. So if you want a full coverage mattifying foundation, this is the one. But dry skin people, it is definitely mattifying and full coverage and will emphasize your texture. See, I already kind of brought it up to my under eyes. Stay away from the under eyes, Hope. It is also too light for me. It will oxidize a little bit, but it's okay. We'll blend it in. So I don't want a lot to start off with, and just 3 dots on my forehead. Okay, I think I'm gonna get annoyed that I don't have my hair pulled back. Whoa, I look like a ghost. I promise it'll look better. Okay, so that's one thin layer. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand, just like that, with a beauty sponge, and just pressing it in just to get a little bit more of a natural finish. And like I said, I have used this one before, and I do like it, especially for those natural finish foundations that don't provide a lot of coverage on its own, and you want more coverage. This is a great one. I don't need a lot on my forehead, remember. Now, Tati is all about the cream bronzer, especially after she did that video with the makeup artist, Scott Barnes. Oh my gosh, it took me a second to think of his name. Scott Barnes. So, it's all about the cream bronzer. Now, the bronzer that I have is from Anastasia, and it is not as warm tone as the one that she usually uses. I can't remember which brand it is. I'm just gonna make it work. But she's all about using bronzer first. Well, he is too. And then going in with concealer, because you're sculpting out the face. Actually, he does bronzer before foundation, I think, now. But I think she's all about bronzer before concealer. I'm just blending it out with my Osmo stippling brush. I don't know if I've necessarily done this before. Maybe I have. I can't remember. But I definitely don't even use cream bronzer on the daily. So every Tati video I watch when she does a bunch of cream bronzer, I'm like, that looks crazy. But then she ends up making it work. Nice and sculpted. Okay, now we are going into concealer. Emily Noel talks about just applying a couple dots. And I know like Jessica Braun does this too. But Emily, I was watching one of her videos, and I'm going to show you exactly what she does. So she applies like 1 dot here, 1 dot here, and then a little bit out here. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And she does like a dot on her nose, and maybe a little bit on her chin. I'm not going to put any on the forehead because I want to minimize the amount of product. But the only thing with this Camo Concealer is it's like getting all over, and it's messy. And yeah, it probably is ridiculous that I'm using a tiny amount of concealer like this when I'm just did all that cream contouring. But the thing is, I agree with this concealer. I know when I film, I tend to like cake on the concealer, but I really, or like it seems like I do anyway. Especially when I'm editing, I'm like, wow, I'm caking it on. But it's like, I really don't use that much in like normally. So I don't know what my deal is. I'm gonna like spray my face a little bit quickly. Okay, the next tip is from Jessica Braun, and she uses a lot of cream products, especially a cream highlighter. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I love this e.l.f. Liquid Illuminator. It's so pretty. She's all about the more natural, which I'm all for. I love it. And then I'm just gonna take my sponge and blend it out. So that is that. And Jessica is also all about applying, which I've been doing this for years because she's been doing it for years, but it's applying your powder with a sponge. So I'm just going to be taking the bottom of my sponge and pressing it. The YouTubers that are all about the baking under the eyes are Jaclyn Hill for sure. That lady puts so much powder under her eyes. I don't even know how her under eyes look somewhat normal. But I'm just going to take Coty Airspun. Tati loves Coty Airspun as well. I mean, like, just a little bit. I'm not going to, like, full on get a lot of powder just sitting there. Jaclyn cakes it on, and my skin just cannot handle that, especially with all this mattifying stuff that I'm using right now. I mean, I know I don't have a lot on, trust me, I know, but it's because my skin will not handle it. I don't like to bake that often. I mean, I can see how it's useful, but I do not like to bake that often because I just feel like it's too much for my skin. Kathleen Lights. When you think of Kathleen, she was like the OG brow girl. Like everybody would call her brow goals just because she always had the thick but natural, really like beautiful brows. And so it's not even just a technique like that she promotes. Well, it is, but it's like that's just her, and so I'm inspired to just really do natural brows. I mean, I usually do natural brows on an everyday basis anyway. I'm never into the craziness. Nicole Renee is all about using concealer as eyeshadow primer, and then she's also really into her cut creases, so I think I want to do a more natural cut crease today. I'm going to try the L'Oreal Full Wear Horrible Concealer on my eyes as primer and see how that goes. Because I hate this concealer on my under eyes, so we'll see how it goes with primer. I'm not blending it with my sponge. There's nothing wrong with concealing for primer. I just tend to have more oily eyelids. I just tend to need more of like eyeshadow base, like a primer or something. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Single Shadow just to set it, because I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill palette. A lot of YouTubers are about not setting it, but I like to set it, so. I do something pretty natural just because I don't really want this crazy eye look anyway right now. And I think it's kind of cool to do like cut creases that are like really natural, you know? So I'm going to take just these two shades, Silk Cream and MFEO. Mix them with a big fluffy brush and just kind of fluff it just to get like an all over crease color. It's kind of getting on my lid a little bit too, which is okay. Okay, now I'm going to go into Pooter. I love this shade just because it's like so like, it's a lot more cool tone. I have a dent in it. I love cool tone shadows if you didn't know. It's just my jam. I'm going to make it just a little bit deeper. I'm going to go into Mocha down here. Okay, so my camera over here, but I literally just kept blending to make it kind of all seamless. And now I'm just going to cut my crease, which this is like a very tricky part, so you just got to add concealer on the back of your hand. I haven't done a cut crease in a long time. I'm going to take this little like lip brush almost from Morphe. And I'm going to get out of frame, and I'm sorry. I'm shaking. Do one eye at a time, too, when you do a cut crease. That's my tip. I'm not even that familiar with cut creases, but like, I mean, I've done them multiple times, but. Okay, and I don't want to like open my eye too much. And then I think I'm going to take the shade Obsessed and just apply it with my finger. Just so my camera doesn't overheat, I'm going to continue this, and then I'm going to fix and blend the edges, and then I'll be back for my next tip. I just honestly keep going back and forth. Fluffing, like I'm just like making sure there's no harsh edges, especially over here. This side has like a little bit, I can see that. And then I'm just going to take the brush from my outer corner and just literally just drag it under my eye. That's it. Now I want to wipe away this bake because I kind of forgot that it was there because it's not really noticeable. But the next tip is also a Kathleen Lights, and that is to have dramatic full lashes without using false lashes, which I love. I love a dramatic look. She doesn't really have a specific like technique for that. She's all about just the dramatic lashes, not the one that's, I mean, there's a bunch of YouTubers that don't always get into the false lashes, but I am going to take the Maybelline Less Sensational and apply that. Okay, another layer. Now I'm just going to apply my Tarte Maneater on the lower lashes. Nothing too crazy with that one. So Andrea Lee talks about this, which I think she got it from Emily Noel because I've seen Emily do this. But you take a cream liner, or like this, in this case, the Wet n Wild Brow Highlight. You put it in the inner waterline of your eye, and that is just supposed to brighten your eyes. Make them look more awake than putting like a black one in there. And I don't have any like techniques for bronzer and blush. So I'm gonna turn my camera off and then I'll be right back. Glamour Index. She always talks about bringing highlighter to like the front of your face, to like your cheekbones more, instead of just keeping it here. Because when you're looking straight on at somebody, you want the highlight here. And I think it's kind of like a genius little thought. So you want to bring it kind of forward a little bit instead of leaving it always behind. Which I love this Smashbox highlighter because it's not going to emphasize too much and it's going to make my skin look glowy and dewy. Lip gloss is Jessica Braun. These Dose of Color ones are her obsession. But she's all about the glossy, non-matte lips, which I agree with. I'm the exact same way. I like this shade. And last but not least, Andrea Lee will talk about how she loves to set her face. I know it's not like, I don't think it's like her like obsession #1 thing, but she likes to talk about, like, she has oily skin, so keeping it matte. Well, I don't have oily skin and I don't need a mattifying setting spray, but I do like the Morphe setting spray, so. This is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing this. If you would like to see another one of these videos, definitely let me know. I really want to look into the smaller YouTubers too, just to kind of shout them out as well. This eye look is honestly one of my favorite eye looks ever. Whenever I do something like this, it's just my favorite because it's neutral, it's pretty, it's elegant, it's just gorgeous. So if you have an event that you want to go to, or if you are a bride-to-be, or if you are a bridesmaid even, this is a really pretty look. I love how my face turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely go check out the YouTubers that I mentioned. I will link them down below, along with all the products that I use in case I didn't mention one or whatever. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I would love to have you stick around. Give this video a thumbs up if you would like. If you liked it, if you would like to see another one, let me know down in the comments your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.